Brian?
You guys ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. Ready for this?
No.
Oh, I'm leaving that in. What's up, everybody? It's FPN Outdoors. We're back. Look at that. After a long hiatus, we have returned to the airwaves.
It's been a minute, that's for sure.
We even got Max with us here. And we're coming back. We're not going to do the live thing just yet. Maybe we'll go back around to that. Right now, we're going to enjoy no breakdowns, no problems. We're just going to do a regular podcast format for now. A lot has happened since the last time we've been on. Oh, by the way, this is Max Drobotchkin, our producer, who's going to be sitting in with this from now on. And you all know the bearded one, Paul Fleming.
With no beard now.
With no beard. Look at him go. Oh, yeah. Goatee.
That's it.
Yeah, what happened? You trying to knock some years off? What's going on over there, bearded?
I don't know, man. It was.
Man, now I got to come up with something else.
You know, I'm going to be
the skinny face one.
I got a birthday coming up next week, so I figured, I might as well try to look a little younger,
So in the meantime, since we've been gone, I've been doing a lot of fishing. Me and Brian Taylor have been doing full metal fishing and getting out. We took a trip to the Everglades, and I've been waiting to talk about this a little bit here because it was good and bad. There was some good things, and there were some bad things here. So first off, the trip down to the Everglades, we go on the west coast here. We go all the way down to Chasalaski. I think that's how you say it.
That's a mouthful. Say that 10 times fast.
I believe it is an old Indian word for damaged lower unit. That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Sounds like one.
You could easily lose half your boat in the Everglades there. We got really lucky. Everybody down. Let's start off by saying this. Everybody in the Everglades was super nice.
Yeah.
These guys were so cool. We were lucky enough. We were talking with one of the guides from there, and he actually showed us the way out to get out without bottoming out and having a problem. And
without losing your lower unit?
Yeah, it was something. So just to describe how far out there we are, you go all the way down as far south as you can,
right?
And you hit Chokoloskee. And then from there, we went another 15 miles south and then back into the brush, right? Mm-hmm. So before we get to that, though, all right. The Everglades, they need tourism, and I am all about it. Go down there, but don't fall into this false illusion of come camp in the Everglades, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Oh, you can kayak and stay on those chickies and all this stuff.
Yep.
Sounds great.
Best time to come though. You don't want to come when the bugs are there, Max. So they tell you come between December and April.
Hold on, did they say when the bugs aren't there?
Yeah, exactly. I'm
really?
here to tell you.
Is there such a time?
There is no good time, because if there was anything worse than this, you will kill yourself.
Yeah.
It was insane, the amount of bugs out there. So here's how I knew we were going into a bad situation. You go down, and you have to register with the park rangers first.
Right.
They don't want people getting lost there. So you go over where you're going to be staying. You kind of have a float plan that you leave with them. So in case something happens, if you're not back in a certain amount of time, they come out looking for you.
Right, in case the gators eat you.
Great plan. Well, we're out in the saltwater. We weren't too worried about gators at this point. So we're getting all signed up. And as we're talking to these people, now I'm all about camping out on the beach side where there's going to be a bit of a breeze. And that always works for me. When we camp out on the Key Islands, I always try and stay on the side that's going to have the breeze.
Right.
That way the bugs stay off you a bit. So as we're signing up, I'm looking over at the FWC guy or Marine, whatever, right. Marine Patrol. He hears where we're going to go camping, which the park ranger guy is directing Brian. This is the best place to go. This is where you want to be right here, right? He chuckles. I can see it in his face. I'm like, no. I'm like, hey, man. What was
that about?
We should go out towards the beach. Oh, the best fishing's back here, though. I'm like, hey, man, we're in a boat. We could just go to that spot later.
Yeah.
Anyways, I get outvoted. We go to this spot that's way back into the middle of everything. Like it's 3 miles back into the Everglades. So leave there. We make the trip. We go out. And as soon as we come up to the camping spot, beautiful spot. It was awesome. I have some pictures that I'll put up here soon. You get in there, and it's got some old-timey stuff there. There's like a concrete little pool thing that would hold water, and Brian was saying that the metal thing was for when they did the sugars or something down there. I don't know exactly what it all was. What it equated to, now that it wasn't being used anymore, it was a giant mosquito pool. It was a mosquito factory on top of what's already there.
For sure.
This is your camping spot, okay? This is your freaking camping spot. As soon as we come up, I'm like, oh, this is not good. So immediately I set my stuff up. I know as soon as the sun goes down, I'm going in the tent. It's lights out at that point. So everybody's got this big plan. They're going to fish, sun goes down and you can hear them.
They sound like military Hueys.
You think there's helicopters coming in,
literally
teeth flying by. It's just teeth. We made it one night out there, man. One night. The next day we get up like,
hey, anybody know where there's any good hotels around here?
We ended up going back and getting a hotel. The guy actually was laughing because we talked to him before we left. He's like, I knew you'd be back. I knew you'd be back. But it was definitely a trip. So, but all in all, the Everglades is really cool. I just don't recommend. Like, they have pamphlets, all these happy people in kayaks. Oh no, I'm going here for 2 weeks.
No,
those people came back emaciated with like Ebola or something. They were definitely not coming back as they left. You know, they lost weight.
So basically, it's like the before pictures of Jurassic Park when they got there, and then the after pictures.
Exactly. You know, they're all beat up. The shirt's torn off. You know, there's just holes in there where the mosquitoes got to. Oh my goodness, man.
I love those memes that you see out there with like the mosquito body with the alligator or the velociraptor heads on them, because that's about. It's about right. It's about right.
And you know, everybody warns you. They're like, "Oh, the bugs are bad. The bugs are bad." And you think, "Well, man, I deal with bugs here, and they're pretty bad. They're pretty bad here.
Yeah.
You can have some horrible nights out on Shell Key. I promise you."
Oh yeah.
This was beyond anything I've ever seen. Yeah. I was telling Max earlier. I was sitting at the. You know how the tent has the little screen door. You can have the flap up or down, and you want air to come through. So I'm sitting there at the edge. And these things are coming in so hard. They're hitting the tent. You can hear them. They're going. They're dive bombing the tent, thinking they're going to make it through.
All right. So did the sunsect even work?
No. There's nothing stopping that. Sure, they may not bite you, but they're going to be all around you. Yeah. They're in your ear.
Well, because when we did that, what was that? That Tampa Bay Fishing Club meet and greet that one time. You and I stepped out of the truck. And our legs were just like,
covered
black.
That is bad enough. Okay, so that's mosquitoes. This was a whole one. The mosquitoes can bite you through your shirt, your long sleeve.
Oh yeah, you're done.
Fishing shirts, not gonna stop them.
Nope.
Not gonna do it. I had a buff on, 2 shirts, and I was still like, "Ow, look at my back."
Oh god.
How was it again?
Ow, look at my back. Anyways, it was a good trip, except for the camping part. Like, during the day, it was great.
How was the fishing?
The fishing was good, man. We caught a lot of fish, but they were all smaller. There was, you know, we were catching one red after another snook after another. But they're all like 16 to 18 inches. You know, maybe an occasional 20-inch snook here and there.
Nothing monster though.
Nothing big. But I mean, it's our first time down there. Sure. People were nice enough to give us some tips of where to look and where to go. And generally, I mean, once you get there, if you've fished around here, like, you're gonna see the opportunities. It's a lot of oyster beds, which is amazing, which is great. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, you got your mangroves and all that kind of stuff. And the reason when we went down there too, I was, you know, the fishing is great, but I was also thinking about you, because Max has the sailboat,
right? Yeah.
You know, and we keep talking about making these trips and everything. I'm like, there is no way we're taking the sailboat around here anywhere near this spot at all. Like, you would have to be so far out of the way to not worry about taking off the bottom of the boat. Yeah. And I tell you, the people there are super nice, but here's the thing: you think. You go as far south as you can go in the road. You get in your boat, and you go another 15 miles south, and you are in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. I'm looking around, nothing. Looking around, nothing. You start fishing. Boom. Hey, buddy, how you doing, man? I mean, they're just so friendly. They don't even think twice about it, man. They're just like, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, boy.
Any jet skis?
No, you know what? Pleasantly surprised. Not too many jet skis out there. You know what? Now that you mention it, there was.
They always are.
Now I remember.
There's always one.
One. Yep. It was worse than one. It was a tour.
Oh.
This guy had like 5 or 6 tourists behind him. Oh. So we're fishing a spot, and luckily we were done. It wasn't really hitting anyway, but they come rip running through there, just zipping along. Did not have a care in the world.
So you've got one experienced jet ski a-hole,
Yeah.
followed by several inexperienced jet ski a-holes.
I will give them credit though. They slowed down when they got. You have no choice there. It's kind of a narrower, waterways and everything, but they were kind of courteous. I'll give them credit there. And that was one thing too about everybody that came by in the boats. All the campgrounds have a little dock area.
Right.
Well, the ones in the back anyway. That you can pull your boat right up to, so you're docked up right there, and that is unprofessional. That's my phone, everybody.
Again.
All right, well, we'll just let that ride. So, anyways, everybody that came by,
It's a dance party now.
everybody that came by slowed down. They didn't want to swamp your boat or anything like that. And then the tide changes there are pretty extreme too. Like, have you ever fished on the west coast of the Everglades?
I've fished. I haven't fished there, but I've fished Everglades City, and I mean I've fished all down in the Everglades there. But yeah, you're right. There's some really weird tide swings.
Yeah. Well, and
especially this time of year because of the moon phases, you get some extreme ups and downs.
I think the next time we go, I'll skip the saltwater part and to get the Everglades experience.
Yeah.
I think you got to go back into the swamp and
That you do
do that route during the day.
I was gonna say.
during the day, man. Well, I don't know. I imagine on an airboat, it'd probably be all right going at night. I think they do airboat tours at night sometimes out there with that fan running. Probably keep the bugs off you.
Can you rent an airboat? Can you just rent it? And
Man, you better know what you're doing back there.
No, there's so much technique that goes into an actual driving an airboat just because of the way they slide.
Yeah.
They won't rent them.
Well,
but
you can get lost. You could get lost in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah,
like
for sure.
very easily.
Especially in the dark.
Can we rig our own? Like you bring the flatboat, I'll bring the box ceiling fan from inverter.
Just two 36-inch box fans.
I could just see the two alligators on shore. Go, did you just see what just happened here? What was that?
We didn't see any alligators out there in the salt. Oh, you know what
there are crocodiles out there.
They just saw a couple weeks after we got back. We saw one was out on the water. We did have a big, like 8-foot bull shark. Brian is bringing in a jack, right? And it swoops at it, and he's like, "Was that?" His girlfriend is down by the gunnel of the boat. The jack comes out of the water, and this thing just barely misses the jack a foot from her head. I mean, wow. She's oblivious, doesn't even know what happened. He's like, whoa. I'm like, was that? He goes, yeah. He's laughing. So, yeah, it was.
Wow. Almost lost a girlfriend.
Fishing be good after that anyway. So that was our Everglades trip. I recommend going to the Everglades there. They need the tourism. Don't fall for the camping spiel. Man, you think you're an outdoorsman. You think you're the tough guy. It's funny because everybody we talked to, every single person, they're super nice and didn't try and spoil our trip when we told them our plans ahead of time. When they saw us when we came back,
they were
like,
laughing.
"Hey, how'd it go? Yeah, we're getting the room. Thanks for telling us, you jerk."
Well, everybody should experience it once.
I honestly, if you want the Everglades experience, though, unless you're going there specifically for something like the tarpon that are running at a certain time of year or whatever, I think going back in the back is probably the way to go because it really wasn't that much different to fish in here. And then honestly, every good spot, it was obvious when you come in an area, you could see just everything lining up. Oh, this is a good spot right here. Everybody else knows that too. And it doesn't matter, you're 15 miles away from everything. They all piled up. There would be 4 and 5 boats in an area.
Yeah.
So if you don't know the sweet spots to go to, you know what I mean? Like you're kind of stuck out there.
You gotta have your own spots there.
When you're from out of town,
it's gonna take a few trips there to get to.
I think getting a guide and going out your first couple of times is probably the best way to go on that. So
that's for sure.
It was a cool trip, and I would definitely do it again, but different.
Definitely again, but way different. Yeah.
Other than that, getting caught up on everything. Me and Brian have been trying to fish we're going to try to fish as many charity tournaments as we can this year. Let's see, we did the Johnny Keller. We took Malik out.
Yeah.
Malik did well. We didn't get into the money there or anything, but he was on the board there for a bit. Man,
what tournament were you fishing when I saw you?
That was wasn't that with Malik? Pretty sure.
That's right.
Okay. So it was the Johnny Keller, and we thought we had him into the money with this sheep set that we got, right? So he's on the board forever. And then, like, at the last minute, there's maybe 5 minutes
Someone
left.
sandbagged it.
Not just sandbagged. Ours was like a 2.5 pound sheep's head. I think the sheep's head that came in was like 12 pounds or 18 pounds. It was like insanely big, huge sheep's head.
Wow, where's he getting that?
It was crazy.
That's nuts.
It was a giant sheep's head.
That's nuts.
And just blew him out of.
That was farm raised.
You know, you can see Malik is kind of having just.
Oh God, I hate that.
That's
for him.
part of tournaments, though, man.
It is.
So that was a fun one there. And then, you know what was really fun? We did a tournament, the Battle of the Bay.
Yeah.
And that tournament isn't the biggest species. You know, like usually you're
it
out
was
trying
like
to get red, snook, and all that.
It was like the most. That
The
you could
most
catch.
species,
Yeah.
which made it fun because really quick, you know, all right, we got our snook out of the way. We got our red out of the way. We got our trout. Next thing you know, and what topped it off, there was an amazing redfish and snook bite at the time.
Yeah.
So it was hard to leave that to go look for a puffer or a lizard fish or something, you know, like that.
Because usually
So-
you're trying to upgrade that same species to get a bigger fish. And now it doesn't matter. You've caught your species now.
And now you're out. And so we're out looking for stuff we've never targeted before. Sheep's head, whiting.
How do you look for it? Like, how do you
Well-
just use different?
Well, here's the thing. So
You stick your head in the water
yeah, right.
and you look around,
Yeah.
and then you just have to call them here.
Certain fish hang out in certain situations, and then like junk fish are usually everywhere. Usually, you cannot go a day without having a lizard fish or a puffer until you're looking for one.
And that's the day you catch snook, trout, reds. And
But do you try like different bait, or you just
Yeah.
continue
Oh,
to
yeah,
keep
yeah,
on
yeah,
throwing
yeah.
and
We
trying?
were trying everything all day long, and the thing that really kept us from getting to the money was it was windy. It was 25-mile-an-hour winds, and we're in an 18-foot flats boat. The guy that took it, he had a nice bay boat, was able to get out where he needed to get
Right,
some of those
yeah.
other species. We ended up with 14 species for the day.
that's still not bad.
It was great for that day because a lot of people did not catch fish. There was very few people that were successful that day, so we felt pretty good about that.
yeah, for sure.
And then we just did
Reeling Freedoms, right?
Yeah, we just did Reeling
Yep.
Freedoms. The Warrior Shootout was a lot of fun. We had a tough day. The day before, everything pre-fishing, no problem. Bang, 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 knocking them out. Comes the tournament day, man. Heartbreaker for Brian though. He hates circle hooks, and he makes a big deal. I never had a problem with circle hooks, but he lost easily a 40+ inch snook. Would have put us probably in top 3 contention up there. Lost it at the boat. It just came unbuttoned. Just popped right out there. And
Well, you're supposed to keep the line tight.
I
Ryan.
wish I would have had the video rolling because the line of profanities that came out of his mouth, it didn't even
I
make
can
sense.
imagine.
Like they weren't even lined up properly. They were just random curse words that came out.
Instant case of Tourette's.
Yeah, so it was fun though. I think they had a really good tournament turnout.
Turn them out.
Words. Warrior Shootout, Reeling Freedom. I'm pretty sure they're going to do another one next year.
I'm sure that they will. Yeah.
I know they had more boats than they expected. It went well.
Yeah.
Everything ran really good. So I'm looking.
I was
forward
actually
to doing
looking
that next
forward
year.
to fishing that, and then I had a boat show that popped up, and I was like, of course,
All right.
happens to me all the time.
Well, yeah, you got to be big money boat guy now.
Yeah, well, you know.
Well. Speaking of big money boat guy, you, Max, you've been working on a 32-foot sailboat now.
Correct.
What kind of sailboat?
It's a Freedom 32. It's a 1984. It's one of those weird boats. There's only like 2 types out there with no staying rigging. Basically, I have independent mast. There's no wires to trip over. Nothing to hold on to.
Oh, that's something different.
In
So
one
like-
sense, you're like, well, it's good you don't trip over anything,
Yeah.
and then another, you're like, there's nothing to grab a hold of here.
Yeah, it's basically like a carbon fiber mast. That's probably the most expensive thing on a boat. Like if that goes, that's it. You know, it's
So how long did it take you to realize that there's no wires there? It's like, because you probably just don't realize it at first until you get up there and you go, no.
well, you know about it, of course, when you're buying it. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, cool. You know, it's sailing is easier. Like you don't have to do all this work. You just turn, almost like a car, and the sail goes. Right, that's it. No wires. But mentally, you're there, like there's a wave. Somebody
You want something to hang on to.
And you're like one time I grabbed something and I realized there's a line to hoist like a little flag. You know, like if you're going, it's like this string, this thin, just attached. So you're holding on to the safety lines going across, but like you just bear hugging a mast. Or you just develop really awesome sense of balance.
Yeah.
But it is a little weird, but I love it. I mean, it's a lot of, and I'm prepping the boat for the out trip, so
Right.
I'm like, I'm changing.
That's all I could think
Yeah.
about when we were down south. I was like, man, it would be so cool if we had a mother boat. And then we got down there, and I was like, oh, this is not
Not
the
gonna
place.
work.
This is
Not gonna
Well,
work here.
I was researching that too, so I was looking at reviews, and again, the first thing was the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've been going to like, was it Whedon Island? You know, and I think I told you like one time going in there, you know, on a little, and it's daytime, right? On a kayak, we're like, oh, it's been, you know, with the missus, nice little day. Guy in front of us, it's like hands, you know, with man bun, shirt off, you know, paddleboard, doing all this, you know, hipster stuff, just going into the mangroves, that passage. We're like, yeah, okay, going behind him. I see him going back. I was like panicking. You guys got box spray? No, get the hell, like, pass us.
Go,
Yeah.
go.
We're like going
Aboard,
in. We're going
aboard.
in, and it's like, they're like, oh crap. We're like, I tried to do the 360,
Yeah.
like, you know, going
Good luck
back.
in the trail. The
Yeah.
trails are tight.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. So I freaking
Yeah.
managed to do 360. I had to go forward a little bit, and
Yeah.
at that point, I'm like being eaten, and I have long sleeve dividing through it, going back out, and they're following us. Like we're already in the wide open water, following us, and I'm like, screw this, man. I'm sensitive.
I'm sensitive.
My skin is sensitive. So like, yeah, if we take it there, I don't know. I got to be like really like offshore somewhere, you know.
I think if you're going to go that far south, you might as well just make it all the way down to the Keys
Yeah,
and call it a
that's just the way to
trip.
go.
Well, I would like to do that. Like I was on vacation, so I'm testing the equipment, what I'm changing, and all that stuff. So I've taken it on short trips, like to the Egmont Key. I actually stopped by Anchored for a night next to Magnuson, that little
Yep.
cove, which is kind of narrow, weird channel. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I like, you know, I just dropped the anchor there, went to the next day to the beach, you know, with my dinghy, went, you know, had some good alcohol and, you know,
Yeah.
food. It was fun. You know, so kind of, and then went to Egmont Key next day. So it was nice, you know, like kind of, again, testing, kind of little shakedown, I guess, stuff.
Do you guys have solar power set up and all that stuff yet?
Yeah,
Or-
I'm still kind of connecting it because I have too much solar power, so I'm trying to kind of figure out, you know.
Too much solar power.
Well, I'm thinking splitting. Like, I mean, I got like $300. No, it's like $400 solar charger. It used to be, you know, I used to spend like $50 on a little controller. Like, now I have this major freaking thing, and I can just charge any kind of batteries, like anywhere from 6 volts to like 96 volts and like crazy stuff. So I'm trying to just separate, have like different bank battery for, you know, using electricity, the other one for the start the engine. Eventually I want to do electrical motor, but I calculated like if I don't just buy like a motor from forklift, which some people do, and then figuring everything out yourself.
The battery or the motor?
The motor. Like
Okay.
people use that. It's cheap.
Oh, like because of the alternator and everything?
yeah,
on it?
like all. I'm actually want to have the full electrical, no diesel. I want to have full electrical motor.
So now your boat's got the shaft.
I have
correct?
yeah. So I
Is
have
it-
I have a 3-cylinder Yanmar, and those suckers like beautiful engines. They last
yeah.
forever. It's a 22 horsepower, and I have like a refrigeration unit hooked up to it, water heater. So I mean, you got all the amenities when you're running that engine. But I'm kind of thinking of the future because the way I'm going to set up this, you know, like I'm going to get even more solar panels, so I'm going to have even more power. I might as well just
Yeah, you might as well go do that. I'll tell you the dealership that I'm at now. We actually just took a pontoon boat for a guy in a private lake and put this little what they call it's a Torpedo.
Yep, I know that.
Right,
I know,
Torpedo outboard that is it's like to consider it's like a 5 horsepower engine.
Yep.
And I gotta tell you that thing moves that boat
Yeah.
pretty good.
Are those the ones the same kind they use for on kayaks?
Yep.
Yep, they'll use them on
Torpedo, yeah.
Torpedoes. They've got them for kayaks and everything else, but and they've got engines for sailboats and stuff like that.
I was looking at those. I was like, man, that'd be great. And I saw they're like $2,000. I was like, nah, I'll paddle.
They
I mean,
they're expensive.
they are
and-
expensive.
And the batteries, like a lot of people buy, like lithium batteries, or they buy like my car is 100% electric. They buy used car,
Right.
electric batteries and just put them up there, and they last forever.
So this one we did was with just regular AGM batteries.
Yeah.
I think they were like 2 Group 37 AGM batteries. The guy, if he's not wide open, even at wide open, he's got like an hour and a half worth of usage. But you throttle it back and the thing goes for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
So, and that's on an AGM battery. I can only imagine if you go to lithium.
Oh yeah, you can just charge them completely and no problem. I think
Yeah.
the other batteries, 50%. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
There's less loss of life to
Yeah.
the battery with a lithium.
Is it a really expensive upgrade to go to those?
Well,
or?
that's what I was gonna say. Like if you
Oh, yeah.
calculate for my boat, it's gonna be $10,000 for a electrical, and that's not counting batteries.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's-
just your motor.
It's electric yachts. They're actually
Yeah.
in St. Pete Marina,
Mhm.
and it's the package they're already put together, controller, all that stuff. I mean, any handyman can pretty much install it, and it comes in. You can match it up, everything has cooling, all that stuff, easy, and and it will work with what I have, and you can run them off the AGM batteries. But if you do like lithium batteries, I think the capacity that I'm looking at, probably each battery I think runs like $3,200. So if you put like 3 or 4 of them in a row, that's another 10 grand. So it's 20 grand. But technically speaking, if I get 2 more solar panels, I can run indefinitely on that.
Yeah.
The hull speed like at 6 knots and just
But I talk to a lot of people that want to do the same thing that you're doing. You got the boat because eventually you want to travel all over, possibly live on the boat and kind of have that boat life going. There are a lot of people talking about wanting to do it, and they're always looking. Did you find it easy to kind of get the information you needed to be able to kind of move forward on this, or was it a lot of guesswork?
No, it's over the last 3 to 5 years, and mostly 3 years, like the adoption in marine world, at least for the sailboats and live aboard. Mostly it's live aboard people that they're very frugal with money and everything. So they've been investing actually in electrical, but they do it the hard way, where they buy used motor from Hyundai forklift and clean it, put waterproofing on it, all that stuff, and buy separate stuff. If you do that way, you can probably do upgrade for about $1,500.
Right.
That's it.
Is there a lot of information out there for you to be able to?
Those are people doing that. If you don't want to deal with it, if you don't want to do calculations, you don't want to watch a bunch of YouTube videos. There are like 2 companies in America, and it's just guys literally putting it together. They've done all the calculations. They've been doing it probably for 10, 15 years. Electric Yachts and one of them, and there's another company, I forgot the name. The difference, this one is DC, so it's 12 volt.
Right.
The other one actually has inverter built in. It's AC electrical motor, and they're saying it's better than running DC motor.
Right.
So because they say you can control it better, I guess the arc and all that stuff.
Yeah, you get a better control of the motor itself. And
the more I research, I have feed on my phone too, and apparently there's a lot of companies right now coming up with a power, on the expensive side, kind of like Teslas of the marine power boats, electric. Like it's a new thing, and I think it's going to be just like electric cars in the next 5 years.
Just start seeing it more accessible.
And especially a company like Tesla. You mentioned Tesla. They have got the technology that they have. I mean, you look at the cars that they've got now and the technology they've got in there. They're doing solar for homes with battery banks there. I mean, it's only a matter of time before they bring it.
And this is all their technology they're using, really.
It really is.
They're saying in the next 5 years they're going to find out how to make the cells denser, all that stuff. Really, what's holding it back is batteries.
How much would it take to get one of those Tesla flamethrowers hooked up there, right? You think you got a problem with jet skis? Just a little... Just like that.
I was actually researching.
For those of you who don't know, Tesla was very quickly selling flamethrowers to fund a project, and the government put a stop to it, but they're still out there.
They still got them, yeah.
They're still there. Yeah.
I was actually researching how to defend yourself, like legally, like if you go travel to Cuba or other places, like pirates or somebody, like, can you bring guns? No, you have to check them in. Can I get, what do you call this, like a flare gun? Use it as a weapon. Which one would be better? Like all those things. I was like, I'm thinking bow and arrow, like freaking Walking Dead style.
Harpoon.
Yeah, whatever. So actually, you can have, though I'm switching, I got rid of the propane on the boat. I'm using different type of stove. But you can have propane legally. They refill it there. And you buy the little torch, or you can make your own DIY that shoots longer flame. So technically speaking, you can build a torch in your boat.
That's what I'm talking about.
And they would not know.
That's the end of all jet ski problems right there, boy. They come close, just light. You don't got to hit them. You don't got to hurt nobody. Just light it up a little bit.
On my trip, I was watching out for jet skis. You know who actually almost killed me on that boat on my vacation? Some guy in a powerboat. Some guy in an expensive powerboat. It
happens.
In a deep channel, we were coming back. We were ready to pass the bridge, coming back. And again, I'm a sailboat. Big sail, can't miss it. All right? See the guy going powerboat. And deep channel, it's not like it's narrow like this. It's a main where a cruise ship's coming through. You got buoy over there and the other one over there. So there's plenty of ways to go. I'm not going in the middle neither. There's a powerboat coming my way. I'm like, I'm sitting, like, looking. I'm going, is he going to turn? Or he's just going to be like, he keeps on coming at me. Dude passed by, full speed, full throttle, 5 feet away from me. Turned at the very last moment.
Wow.
Yeah, because he's in the back dancing with some chick from Brazil.
No,
probably.
No. There was a lot of middle fingers. He's passing by. I'm looking at him. It's some dude in his, 70s with his, I don't know what he's doing. Like, I can see him. So what was the issue?
Just clearly younger counterpart.
Dude in his 70s with his 23-year-old
Yeah, that's what I'm
girlfriend.
saying. It's got the boat.
I still don't know.
Those girls come with those boats. I don't
They
know if
do.
you know
They
that,
do.
So.
Yeah, but like I don't know if he was like upset that he saw a sailboat, he hated sailboats, or like there was no reason for that whatsoever.
Yeah, that can happen. Sailboats getting away,
Yeah.
even though you got the right of way.
Yeah, thank you. No, I can't turn. I mean, even if I dropped the sails, I would have been on the same spot.
Right.
Like he literally just kept on going, and like turns in the rarest moment. I'm like, I
Welcome
wish I
to
had
the
a
boat
camera.
life, buddy.
Yeah, no
Welcome to
doubt.
the boat
Oh
life.
man, like I expected from jet skis because same thing happened at Magnuson Hotel. Waiting there, I see them lining up the jet skis. I'm like,
Oh, the rentals.
the rentals.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, that's the worst.
I'm like, we gotta be, and my dinghy doesn't have the motor, so you're just rolling it back. I'm going, these idiots are gonna be exactly get on it, go in there. You have one trainer, whatever, you know, the main guy, and then they all follow them, and they're like, oh, anchor sailboat, oh, a dinghy. Like
It's like they have magnets in the front of them
What
things.
the
Well,
hell?
and you know, a lot of it is now that I'm out of the manufacturing side and over to the retail side. You see it all the time. You get this, you know, $300,000 boat, you know, triple motors. Guy comes in, you're filling out all the paperwork and everything else. Guy whips out his checkbook and starts writing, and you're having a casual conversation. So is this, you know, how many boats have you had before? It's my first one.
Hey, well, where's the?
You've got like 1,800 horsepower on the back of this thing. It's your first boat. I love it. That's
so this
great.
is your flax capacitor. This is
Well, anyways, I'm looking forward to seeing how that progresses with the sailboat and everything, and hopefully we get to make some trips here like we've been
I would
planning
love
here
to,
soon.
yeah.
We'll set that up soon. Well, before we get out of here, Paul, I mean, you got some new toys coming in.
I do. They came in today.
Oh,
I couldn't
you're
contain
biting at the bit right
I couldn't
now.
contain myself. The Amazon thing said my stuff delivered in at like 11:30 this morning, and I was itching all day, man. I knew that I had a brand new scope and some new toys for my AR.
I thought it was adult toys. I'm sorry.
No,
No.
toys.
So
This is a PG show, sir.
PG show,
sorry.
yeah. No, I've got a brand new tactical scope that I got for my AR. I'm really looking forward to this week. I said earlier my birthday is next week, so my dad and my dad's been on the show before. We've shared a ton of adventures together, doing fishing. The one thing that we have yet to do is go hunting together. So my dad now just has gotten into this 500-acre lease, and we're going to go up and set up his feeders and the blinds and everything else, get his area set up. But we're gonna do a night hog hunt.
Nice.
Figure it's about time we get there. I mean, geez, I'm going to be 42 this year.
So what scope is this that you got?
I'd be honest with you, I don't even remember the name of it. Oh, it's a it's not a Magna something. I don't know.
We'll put it down in the comments.
We'll put it down in the
later for you.
comments. I've got all the pictures of it. It was, I did a little research on them, and this particular scope has actually got a battery in it, and it's got a low light. It's designed for low light, so you can actually all the rectals inside you can. Not, I knew he was
All
going.
the rectums.
All the rectals.
Rectum damn near killed him.
Well, it might in this case. You can either turn them green or red, so it'll actually bring in the light.
Oh, so you get kind of a night vision.
Yeah, you got kind of a little bit of a night vision in it.
Nobody likes a red rectum, so.
Well,
All right,
that's for sure.
So going up camping and or not camping, but hunting with your dad up there.
You're gonna go up to Georgia, yeah.
Nice. Hog hunt at night. Were you saying you were able to record this somehow? You got.
We're gonna try. I'm gonna try because we're gonna be hunting in from a blind, so we're gonna be pretty much enclosed. So I've actually got. I've been trying this new app out on my phone to where it takes low light and turns it green, so you can actually see. So it's kind of like it makes your phone a night vision camera. So I'm gonna wire it up. I'm gonna
see how it goes.
See if we can't record some stuff. I figure at any point, a couple guys in a deer blind hunting hog in the middle of the night, I'll be some good entertainment anyway.
Well, I think what we'll do here in the next few days, or maybe you can do it while you're on your trip. We'll get the AR out and the scope and everything, kind of go over it, show everybody what we're talking
absolutely.
about. Everybody likes to see a nice new piece of hardware.
Absolutely.
Why not, right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
So, well, that'll be a cool trip. I'd like to go up there sometime too.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's cool. And then I've also got another. My boss's brother's got a huge piece of property up in South Carolina. So we're going to be going up there and doing some deer hunting this year as well. So should be fun. We should have some good hunting content for this year.
That's awesome. We're going to be branching out and doing a bunch of different things, not just fishing, hunting, some sailing. I've been talking with the guy. Hopefully I can get him on here soon. They get in rowboats of sorts and paddle across the Atlantic. So,
Man,
yeah, these guys are insane. It takes them like 30 days or something to get over the ocean. There's like a race that goes over every year. And I believe they did it back in December, but I'm hoping to talk to those guys. And we're going to have a bunch of different content coming up. For now, we're sticking to a recorded podcast format, edited, and no going offline and all that stuff for now. We'll probably do some live shows here and there. We'll see how everything goes. And in the future, we'll be doing a bunch of different material and different content coming out here soon. So make sure you go to fpnoutdoors.com. All of our social media feeds, Instagram, Facebook, check us out on there. And we'll try to come at you here about every week. In the meantime, next, not this weekend, but next weekend, March, 23rd, I believe, is Tighten the Drag. Tighten the Drag is one of our favorite inshore tournaments. I highly recommend everybody, even if you don't fish, go out and support this. It's to support spinal cord injuries. Helps a lot of people. There's a lot of people that show up to this. This is a fun event. Anybody can compete in this. This isn't just for the guys that are guides or pros or anything. Anybody, you got kayak division, definitely come out and support this cause. March 23rd is the date of the... What do they do the captain's meeting on Friday or Thursday for that one? It's the Friday before.
Yeah,
So Friday before, I believe it's at the Magnuson Hotel again. Great spot to do it. So make sure you check that out. Tighten the Drag Foundation on Facebook for all the information. Did we cover everything?
I think we got it all.
Max, Max has got a YouTube channel.
It's Sailing Cuddles.
Sailing Cuddles.
Sailing Cuddles.
Check that out on YouTube.
All
Give
right.
him a like. Help him out with the sailing
Very
stuff.
tasteful.
Check out our stuff. I'm doing Full Metal Fishing with Brian Taylor. You can see all of our updates and stuff at fullmetalfishing.com and on Facebook. And you can get this on everywhere you can get podcasts. We'll see you soon, everybody. Peace.
Peace out.
Peace.